guys, it's Shro here to just do a random video. And when I say random, this is as random as it gets. I've been doing videos for the skirmish report. I do videos for local game hosts, and there's a level of responsibility when you're doing that type of stuff. So I just wanted to do one where I didn't feel any pressure, like I needed to perform, or I needed to provide this, or I needed to do that, I needed to do this. I want to get back to the basics of my videos. I'm here in my house, in my man cave, the playpen as I like to call it, and just doing videos like I used to do. You know, just sit, talk, airsoft. Let's just do airsoft. You know, maybe one day I'll do a podcast where people can call in, or a web show where people can call in on Skype or Hoover or something, tiny chat, and we just have a blast, or I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. But what I did want to do is go over all of the guns that I currently have in my collection. That way that my subscribers and the people who send me questions asking me to do videos of this nature can be happy for at least another 2 or 3 months, because I just did airsoft toys video showing all of my toys. Me and Daddy Daycare, Shwell11 on YouTube, Shwell out on the field going to games. I don't have time to mess with my projects and sit down and actually tech a gun. I haven't really sat down and teched a gun in months. I can't say that I'm upset about that, because when you start working on other people's guns on a regular basis, it starts getting frustrating when either one, things don't work, two, things work well until you give them back to those people, three, they're never satisfied. So I've stopped taking in guns. The rental guns that I was working on, that wasn't too bad, because I would work on them, I'd get them out there, and then you'd see the kids destroy them, and you knew why they were coming back broken. That is justified. You understand, they're rental guns. They get beat and abused. That's normal. Let's see, what's the first one we want to talk about? WE Scar. As you can see, I have my EOTech clone. This is the last of my Deal Extreme EOTech clones. The LaRue rail covers. Also, you'll see this again on another gun. The LaRue has their version of what you would call an angle foregrip setup, and this is it. You can adjust where these hand stops are to adjust how you actually get to hold it. You can bring this one back a little bit so it's more of a bump, or you can eliminate it altogether and just have a straight AFG type grip. Now, I don't know who came first, AFG or the LaRue setup, but I like the LaRue setup. It's very versatile. You can adjust it. You can put it where you need it. If your hands are huge, big, it's adjusted. You don't have to adjust to the handguard. It adjusts to you. Whereas the AFG, what you get is what you get. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I've had a couple of them. I love those as well. I just prefer this setup because it's a little bit more versatile. It can be switched for a righty at any given moment. And again, this is a WE Scar. I haven't done any mods to it. Well, no, I take that back. I've done one mod. On airsoftforums.com, there was a thread about how to change the FPS on gas blowback rifles. More specifically, gas blowback, WE gas blowbacks. So when I had my KAC PDW and I couldn't get the FPS down consistently, I read up on it and I thought, no, this is too simple, it can't work. What they did was they took the fishing bait, you know, those little silicone worm things, they cut little sleeves out of them, or shims, and put those in the valve of the gas blowback assembly, and the amount of space that you use will determine what the FPS is. Well, I made a couple and put them in here. Right now it's shooting at 157 FPS. Every shot, 157. Which, for me, one, shows that it works. Two, it's very cheap. Three, it works. So I can adjust it. As I play with it a little bit more, I just need to take the time to do so. I can get the FPS right at 350, 375, 400 if I want. It's just going to take a little bit of play on my end to get it to where I need it to be. But it's coming. The fact that I'm able to get that far with it makes me feel great, and there's actually hope. So this is my second time going into the gas blowback rifle realm. So far, so good. I may keep this one for a while. If not, it will go up on eBay, and I will let you guys know before I do so. Next up is my daughter's Bravo PDW, RDW, whatever you want to call it. It's Knight's Armament out of Titusville's replica. I have the MOE foregrip on here. Everything else on this gun is completely stock with the exception of the wiring. I redid the wiring because when I got it, it was terrible. Now, this gun was a part of a deal where I was going to trade it out and buy my daughter a brand new gun for her birthday. Well, that deal didn't work out, and when I got the gun back, it doesn't hold magazines anymore. So right now, it's just a pretty wall hanger. Unless I can get a new assembly for the mag release, the mag catch, this thing is trash right now. And it sucks that I have to go through this because, you know, you trust people with your stuff, and we knew that the deal was a maybe a 50-50 deal. Maybe it was going to happen, it wasn't. I was going to get it back. I would have appreciated getting it back in the same condition it was that I gave it out. Somebody swapped out the mag catch in here, and it's very obvious that they swapped it out because the mag catch that's in here is all filed down as though it was modified to fit in this particular gun. I know the one that was in here worked fine. The gun was pretty much brand new when I got it. So with that said, just move on. I may end up having to buy her a new one anyway because of this BS. But it is what it is. You know who you are. You live with it. I'm over it. Mystery box. Airsoft GI's mystery box. I think it was called the Battlestar mystery box. This is a JG M16A2. It is a AEG. Very basic. One of their older models, as known by the plate, the motor adjustment plate screw. I painted the furniture OD, fronting the stock and the foregrip. I was going to do a grip but ran out of paint, and that's also why we'll get into that later with the running out of paint. Some aimpoint clone that I got in a trade on something years ago. This is an M16A2, meaning that the carry handle does not come off. It is not removable, so it does not expose rails. What I did do was put the rail adapter on the handle and throw this on here. What that does, while some people think it's ugly and big and, you know, look at where it is to my eye. Even with goggles on, even with my full face mask on, I still get good eye relief and still am usable. It's still usable. Everything is perfect. No trying to squeeze in, trying to get none of that. It works perfect. So for those of you out there who have guns with these carry handles, get the rail attachment and get some optics and you'll be happy that you did. Some think it looks ugly, whatever. I also added a rail up here only because I had it laying around. I've had this thing laying around for a while, so I thought, let me just throw it on something. And it works perfect on this gun. Granted, I'll probably never use it because there's really no reason for me to put anything down here, so it is what it is. This little blue tie-dye tape that's on here is because it's developed a little wobble over time, and I don't want to lose any of these handguard pieces. So this is just, you know, to keep it on here. I will adjust things as needed to make it tighter again. I just haven't gotten to it because I use this gun as a loaner gun. Alright. Now I'm only doing my rifles today. None of my pistols. I got too many of them scattered around all over the place to even go through it. Now you've all seen this. You've seen this in previous videos. My 6mm Junkies video, I was using this in game. This is my A&K Masada. I've had my Airsoft Barracks do some custom work on it. Currently running a aimpoint, the GMP aimpoint that came on my GMP Viper. It has a Quicksilver manufacturing replica flash hider / silencer. This one is recessed, so the barrel actually extends that far into it, which I love. Doesn't extend the gun too long. It's perfect. Looks great on here. And also I did my sponging technique. It was going to be a full complete sponging technique, the whole gun. Ran out of paint while doing it, only because I did the JG M16A2 first, then I came to this one and started doing this one. I was also told by a Masada owner, don't paint the whole gun, that would be blasphemy, it would make it look bad, but I don't think that they knew who they were talking to at the time. This is swell, man. I get the job done. Looks great, gun performs really well. When I got it from Airsoft Barracks, it was shooting 420 FPS. I changed out the spring, it was doing 320 FPS. So I put the spring that Airsoft Barracks put in there back in. They also added in a new cylinder head, Bravo piston and piston head setup. Running SHS high speed 13:1 ratio gears, and then also an amp high torque motor. It's not blistering fast, that wasn't the goal, but I am getting about 19 rounds per second on a 7.4 volt LiPo. I haven't tried it with an 11.1 because I wouldn't have anywhere to put it if I wanted to. Gun shoots really well. Right now it's at right at 410 FPS. I've had the spring compressed for almost 3 weeks now, and it seems to be working, bringing that FPS down gradually. I have no real demand to use it every time I go out, so I can let it sit for as long as I possibly need to keep that FPS down. I'll probably end up buying a spring that will put me right at 380, 390 FPS. Or maybe I'll put it down to 350, because that's where most of my guns are. 350 FPS is my sweet spot. I've not run into a place that I can't use 350 FPS at. And I've gotten guns shooting 350 that have outstanding range, outstanding accuracy. It's all about the parts. It's not about the FPS. It's not about the FPS. Again, it's pretty. Here's my Echo 1 614 with SOCOM stock, custom paint job. Damn, I'm having a brain dump. I don't even remember what this is called, but it's used to cut wire, whatever. This gun is an Echo 1 externally. Internally, it is a G&G. The gearbox is a dropped-in G&G gearbox. Came out of a full metal G&G. I didn't have to make any modifications. It was just that the upper receiver is hell to put on and take off. That's it. I had to do a little bit of finagling, but good thing is it's plastic, so I was able to bend it and modify it or do what I needed to do to get it to go back in. I added the SOCOM stock to this particular gun because the rail system on these 614s or 416s are very heavy, so the gun was extremely front heavy. Now it's a lot more balanced. The weight is distributed evenly throughout the whole gun. The only thing is the gun is wired to the rear, and there is nowhere in this buffer tube to put a battery. Now I could put one in there, but it just was too much of an inconvenience to go in and because I don't keep my batteries plugged in when I'm storing my gun. So I just went with this setup for now, and because I don't use this gun myself personally, I usually loan this out to teammates. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just use a battery bag and I'm good to go. This gun is shooting at exactly 350 FPS consistently. Great range. It has a Mad Bull type bore inner barrel, 6.03. Teflon tape mod for better compression. This gun works really well, and to be honest with you, there's something about this. I've had this gun for over a year. Out of all of my AEGs, I've had this one the longest, and I don't even particularly like the design of the model, but I can't get rid of it. For some reason, I just can't let it go. I think about all of the parts and stuff that are in it, and it's like, no, I wouldn't get what it's worth, so I'm not going to sell it. And that's rare for me because usually I take a loss in all of my deals. And I really don't mind it as long as I get what I want out of it. But this gun is here, and maybe one day I will get rid of it, maybe not, I don't know. Again, I'll keep you guys posted. eBay all the way. This is my primary weapon, my primary gun of choice. This is my GMP Viper M4. Added a tight bore barrel, a Mad Bull 6.03 tight bore barrel. It is a CQB length gun. I put a 300mm barrel where stock, I believe it came with a 270. So we have a little bit of it exposed here in the flash hider. No biggie. As long as it performs and it shoots the BBs, I'm happy. Upper rail is covered with the GMP provided rail cover. Also running a Element EX219 fiber optic sight, and this has that triangle sight, like I said, fiber optic powered. It also has polarization, works really well. It's been featured in other videos. Again, adjustable stock, which I use a 7.4 volt LiPo, which right now I think is a 1400 milliamp hour in here, so it's a little long, so I can't collapse this all the way. But I have a 1200 milliamp hour on the way, and that should be short enough to where I should have complete adjustability. This foregrip, I got this one off of ebairsoft.com. It was less than $20 shipped. Came across this with a player out at Combat City. They had a couple of guys had them on their guns, and I got to hold them, and I was like, oh, this feels great. Okay, never thought about it again. So I'm on EB Airsoft and thought, all right, now is a good time. That's a good price. Let me go ahead and give it a shot. Try it out. See how well it works. Works great. It's perfect. This is a CQB length gun, and those of you know who play a lot, every situation determines how you hold your gun. Some days I'm holding it like this. Some days I'm in the angled foregrip type hold. Some days I'm just holding it here like so. I mean, so having the ability to run different types of setups for different holds is outstanding. So adding this, I can hold here, which would normally be me grabbing my mag or magwell. Then you have, again, the LaRue rail covers with their version of an angled foregrip or grip. And again, on this one I can show you because I don't have all of the rail covers installed, but you can adjust it. Again, this gives you their version of an angled foregrip hold, and again, it's adjustable, so you can change it. You can have it with or without the bottom one, or move it to where there's one on this side and one on the other side, so that if you needed to transition to a lefty or righty type hold, you could do so. I like them, and again, this setup was less than $20 again shipped. May have been less than 15 shipped. Love this gun. Those of you know who have watched my videos, the gears did fail on it, so I did have to redo the gears. I put in some standard JG gears and I short stroked them, or took away one tooth. I added a Bravo piston, also a Bravo piston head, and angle of engagement was adjusted. Right now it's shooting 28 rounds per second with an 11.1 LiPo and 20 rounds per second with a 7.4 volt LiPo or a 9.6 volt battery, which is only a couple of rounds per second lower than they were stock. Stock piston had 2 or 3 less teeth than the piston that I have in there now. I don't even know what the gear ratio was for the GMP, but it was built for blistering speed stock. And minor adjustments, I could have gotten it up to 35, maybe even 40 rounds per second. But those gears failed. They failed quickly. So right now I'm running the JGs. They're cheap. They work. I can go 50 to 75,000 rounds without having to worry about them breaking on me, as long as the shim job is done correctly, and this one is. I have no worries as far as this gun is concerned. Right now, with all of the changes and all of the modifications, it went from 370 FPS down to a consistent 350 FPS, which is perfect. All of the CQB places here have a limit of 350, and this works. Some have 400, but 350 gets the job done when you're inside. And I got one more gun, but this one doesn't count. This is what having access to a credit card late night while half asleep and being bored. This is an APS something of a something sniper rifle that I got from E-Vike one night. Now, the gun works. It has an effective range of about 80 feet. And that's effective range as in right on target, accurate at 80 feet. It only shoots 300 FPS. It's a sniper rifle, and it only shoots 300 FPS. Rear sight, terrible. A hop-up adjustment is this screw right here, which is loose. So once you adjust it, you fire a couple of shots, you gotta readjust it to get it right back to where it was. Only holds 5 rounds, and you feed those 5 rounds through this hole here. And then if you look closely, there's a plunger here that feeds those BBs. And you shoot your 5 rounds and then you have to reload. Now, for plinking in the backyard, this may be perfect. But for in-game use, I honestly have not figured out any scenario or any situation where something like this would work. If it was being manufactured or being advertised as a CQB sniper, not powerful enough to reach anywhere in a CQB environment, but not too strong to where it would cause any injury, that's great. But it's only 5 shots, and in CQB, where you gonna hide? So a CQB sniper, no point in that. That's probably why E-Vike got rid of them. At least that's how they explained it on their Facebook post, that they weren't happy with the performance, their customers weren't happy with it, so they told the manufacturer they needed to come with a better design, higher FPS, a more useful sniper platform. So E-Vike wanted to get rid of them at cost, and that's how we got them at cost, and I was one of the fools to buy it. This is probably the first and only, and probably won't be the last airsoft purchase that I regret from the day that I clicked send payment. So, lesson learned. No more buying guns after midnight, like a gremlin. But that is my collection as it stands right now as far as rifles are concerned. I have quite a few pistols scattered around the house that are either need to be assembled or just need to have one part replaced here or there. just to get them functioning properly. But I also have a WE 4.3 Desert Warrior, which the Desert Warrior 4.3 has become my favorite gun. I even converted my Tokyo Marie into one, and I found that Airsoft GI had one in their Boneyard, and then they had 12% off that, and then another 12%. So I was able to get it for about $50 shipped, and I have all of the parts needed for it. It was a Boneyard gun, so there's something wrong with it, but I have parts, I have magazines, I have everything that's needed. So now I can do triple wheeled 4.3 Desert Warriors. So yeah, so I'm a little compulsive when it comes to that type of stuff, but it is what it is. Stay tuned for more videos. I have more entries or more items to go over with the skirmish report. More games are coming up. February was a very busy month for me. March is starting to look very busy as well. Go on vacation next week, which is great. I get to take a break from the normal monotony of my life. Daddy daycare is killing me, guys. Killing me. So stay in school, do what you gotta do. Let me see, I got another new toy, and this is one of those toys that you don't really need, but I got it. This is that Zoom tablet, and I've been playing Angry Birds a lot. I'm addicted to the game. I played it for the first time yesterday, and I am mad at myself for doing so. It may take the place of Airsoft here shortly. But yeah, I'm turning into a gadget fanatic. But it is what it is. I'm happy. You should be happy for me being happy. Everybody's happy except my wife. And with that said, I hope you guys are out there having fun, being safe, and also being responsible. And as usual, I'll hit you with the 2 fingers. Later.